Not really sure where I'm going. I'm just kind of walking around, exploring the neighborhood. This is a different New York City. This isn't the New York City I've been to. There's like razor wire on the fence here. Children of Promise, embracing and empowering children of incarcerated parents.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, I was just in the neighborhood and I saw the sign outside.
Sure.
And I was interested in, finding out a little bit more about your organization and see if I can volunteer a little bit.
Sure, my name is Sharon Content.
Children of Promise is the only after-school program in New York City that provides tutoring and group counseling to the children of incarcerated parents. Without help, children of an imprisoned parent have a 70% chance of repeating the cycle.
There's 105,000 young people in New York State that have an imprisoned parent. Once an adult is incarcerated, there's no agency that's responsible for these young people.
So, the kids go to, like, the next of kin, basically?
Absolutely,
that's available?
or foster care. And it also means that they're separated from their siblings. Mm-hmm. So in addition to the loss of their parent, they're also dealing with now possibly the loss of the sibling that they might not now be living with.
So how did you get involved with this organization?
Well, first I was in corporate America. I was on Wall Street. What really got me involved was really becoming aware of this situation. I said, you know what, I'm actually gonna establish my own organization.
And that's how it all started,
That's how it all started. That's how it came about. But I'd love to bring you downstairs and actually show you the program.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Let me give you a little tour.
Okay, great.
Okay, excellent. So we actually use about 3 floors of this building.
Okay.
We're just leasing the space. Primarily, our activities are therapeutic. We infuse mental health services in all aspects of the program. So this is one of our activities. We have a volunteer today. His name is Sean.
Hello.
And he came to visit our program. And he'd like to hang out with us for a little while. Do you mind? Yeah. Okay.
If you want to just take a seat right here, you can
Right in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle. This is our 10s and 11s group. How many of your parents are serving more than, let's say, 25 years? Ziana, how much time is your father serving?
He's serving 27.
Okay. Where is he? Do you know about where he's at right now?
No.
No? Okay. Malaysia, how much time?
They said my father had 25 years.
Dylan, how much more time does your mom have?
Like 3 or 4 years left.
And how long of a sentence did she have to serve?
12.
12 years. Okay. So Dylan, I'm gonna have you start and you're not gonna say anything, you're just gonna pick one of the things and then you can pass it down. Okay, so why don't you guys go ahead and open them up and you're gonna read the question.
The thing that is hardest for me about having a parent in jail/prison is?
So Ziana, how would you answer that question?
That he doesn't provide for me and that my mother does everything on her own. Sometimes I feel bad for her. And I don't even know why he's in jail.
Can anyone else quickly think of anything else to add to that? Malaysia.
Last time I visited my father, it was like a long time ago. And every time like I go see him, we have like a long conversation. And then like when the time is up and I go, I just start crying and I don't stop crying until like I go home. Like sometimes I get mad at my mother and she be like, why you always have an attitude? I be like, because I feel like my father dead because I don't see him. I don't talk to him. He write me letters, but sometimes I don't get to respond back. Sometimes I don't feel like it because I can't write everything in a letter. I have to like talk to you or see you. As long as I can talk to you, like you mean a lot to me. If I could see you, you mean so much to me. I only have my mother, but I don't have my father. And it just hurts so bad.
My favorite memory of my parents.
Okay, your favorite memory of your parent is? Dylan, why don't you answer that?
Going out or playing games together or just being together, amusement parks and movies. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
The group therapy class was probably one of the hardest things I've seen. As a product of divorce, I see what they're going through with one or both parents incarcerated. Because these are young kids who should be playing in a sandbox and coloring, and instead they're worrying about when they're going to see their parents next, and it really is heartbreaking.
How are you doing? It's a pleasure having you here today. And you're going to volunteer with our teams.
Okay.
This is our most active and lively group. Good afternoon. afternoon, everyone. I'd like to introduce you all to Sean. Sean's gonna volunteer with us today. This is our instructor, Kay Swift.
I want you to write about obstacles or limitations that you faced and some also that you've gotten past, or ones that you want to get past. All right. Who would like to share? Ray, I saw your hand fly up.
Ray Maldonado's father and grandfather have both spent time in prison. Children of Promise hopes to break that cycle.
One obstacle that I have been through was when my father went to jail when I was 5 years old. It was very depressing for me because I was the oldest and plus I had a brother, a sister to take care of. He had recently came out about 3 weeks ago and he's trying to get his life back together. But mostly he's trying to get his life back together with me, my brother, and my sister. I feel like now that I have a father, he just has to continue with everything that he left off at.
So where do you think you guys would be if it wasn't for Children of Promise? I mean,
Children of Promise is somewhat of a savior. It's a savior because the people here are actually directly affected by incarceration, which tends to lead them to have a greater probability of going to jail. We probably wouldn't even begin to fathom what kind of life we would have without this place.
I've been here since the first day of Children of Promise. The first. I know that everyone that was in the program had the same situation as me. They had someone that they knew, they loved, they cared for, incarcerated. Children of Promise has taught me that I have other people, you know, to care for me, just not my father, but I have other people to care for me. Like, everyone in here, they're caring for me.
there's this population that is underserved and so at risk. And there's finally an organization that's addressing it and helping them break the cycle.
We allow our young people to really demonstrate and really display a lot of their artwork and a lot of the works that they do. This right here is our hope tree. On the leaf, they express some of the things they hope for. So for example, I wish my dad gets out early. In art class, in school, they may not be able to talk about that.
Yeah, so they're holding all these feelings and emotions in
And they're able to release it here in a therapeutic, safe environment. One of the young people said to me, he said, Ms. Content, you know, it's really hard to love someone that everyone says is bad. You know, everybody says my dad is bad, and it's hard for me to love him. And I said, you know what? Your dad's not bad. Your dad made some bad choices. He's not a bad person, and he loves you, and you can feel very comfortable in loving him. You know, how difficult is it for a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old to say it's hard for him to love his dad? That should be a natural feeling. You know, but unfortunately, due to the stigma and the shame for many of our young people, it is very difficult for them. Here we have a poem that one of our teens, Tareya, actually wrote this, and it's to Daddy. And it said, I saw a man walking down the street. He looked familiar. I was not sure who he was, but then I remembered. He was my father. I walked up to him to say hello. He replies, who are you? I say, you really don't remember me? Your own flesh and blood? And I walk away. He stops me and he says, where are you going? I said, sorry, I don't know you anymore. You know, and when I see work like this for our young people, it's very compelling because that's why the organization exists. So that Tareya could write something like this and feel very comfortable in expressing, you know what, my dad served a number of years and he came home and he doesn't know me.
Sean Belnick's secret millionaire mission in New York is drawing to a close. Today, he will finally reveal his true identity and give away a share of his fortune.
Today is the big day that I'm making a difference and going to be changing these organizations forever is an amazing feeling. Hey, how you doing again? Good to see you.
Yes. How are you doing? Good to see you.
I'm doing great.
And you remember Anna? You met Anna? She's our director of mental health.
Hi.
Good to see you again, Anna. Well, I just wanted to tell you guys some stuff. I was just so inspired by the organization and what it means to you. And to come here and sit in the classrooms and hear the stories from the kids. They're going through so much. And when I was talking to you, Sharon, and you were telling me about how the organization, you know, serves children that are otherwise forgotten about. To see your passion and your drive and how you gave up a job on Wall Street to come here and really help everyone and to see the differences that you're making in everyone's life is just so inspiring to me. There's also something I need to tell you. I'm also a successful businessman. I'm a millionaire. And I would like to present a check to Children of Promise for $60,000.
Oh my God, Anna! Oh my God!
Oh my, I'm speechless. I am speechless.
Thank you so much. I cannot believe it.
I'm just glad to make a difference.
I cannot believe this. I thank you. I thank you so much.
Oh, it's you. I mean,
Oh, Anna.
The organization will now be able to provide services that we just didn't have the funding for. One of the goals was to purchase a van so that we could allow our young people to visit their parent.